Good afternoon again. This is Chief Meteorologist Alex Kirchner of the 13 Weather Authority. We likely just told you about a severe thunderstorm warning that's been upgraded to a tornado warning in some spots of northern Boone County. So that just got issued by the National Weather Service. You can see this is north of Capron and Harvard, moving into southern Wisconsin. So it's kind of that northern fringe of Boone County. That's where we do see some circulation on radar. So that is where an ongoing tornado warning is. I'd say the circulation is well north of Hunter Road to the east of Capron Road. I'll get you an exact location in just a second, but that's about where we see the dangerous part of that severe thunderstorm. So not heading into Capron or Harvard, it would, if anything, be tracking closer towards Walworth, Wisconsin. So, of course, with a tornado warning, it's basement time. If you're in, again, far northern Boone County, far northwest McHenry County, and then southeast Rock, and then most of Walworth County, time to get to the basement. Can't get there, you don't have a basement, move to the lowest floor without windows, and then try to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So again, this is what radar looks like right now. You can see that there is plenty of severe things that we want to keep an eye on with all of this. I'll get those different sweeping arms out of the way in just a second here. By the way, we are live on our streaming platforms. We will head over there in just 1 second, but I wanted to point out a couple features. Right along Highway 67, some large hail. If anything, the tornado circulation is right about in this spot here. I'll pull up our velocity tool to highlight that. If I can get it to agree with me. So again, this is a tornado warning for far northeast Boone County. If anything, that possible tornado just crossed the county line into McHenry County, and it's pretty close to the Walworth County, the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. So again, this is not heading into Harvard or Capron, but that's about where we're seeing that possible tornado about to cross into Walworth County. So that is the update we have for the time being. We will be doing extended coverage on our streaming platforms. So head over to WREX.com or our news app or our Facebook page for additional details. But that's, again, that severe portion of the thunderstorm producing that possible tornado crossing into McHenry County right now. So if you're in Boone County, you're probably in the clear. Look for extended coverage on our streaming platforms shortly. And welcome back to our extended coverage on our streaming platforms. Again, we are live on WREX.com, on our news app, on our weather app, which is a favorite of mine, as well as on our Facebook page. I will pull up the questions and comments shortly here, so if you do have anything that you're wondering, you can leave those there on our Facebook page, 13 WREX. I'm Chief Meteorologist Alex Kirchner with the 13 Weather Authority. Wanda wondering, alarms going off in Poplar Grove. And that is for that tornado warning. I think the tornadic threat is out of Boone County, so hopefully those sirens shut off soon for Poplar Grove. Alexa mentioning here tornado sirens off near Beloit. Again, I think most of these circulations that we have to keep an eye on are mostly in Walworth to McHenry counties. I'm not necessarily seeing anything on radar, at least indicated here, for Rock and Boone counties. That said, I mean, you're under the warning, so I think that is why the National Weather Service, issued that for that spot, and of course the warning sirens triggered for some of those locations. But you kind of notice here, we want to see reds and greens like right next to each other, and we're getting some kind of broader circulation along the state line into Walworth County as of this point, and maybe some circulation just over the county line again into Walworth County. So hopefully, if you're in Beloit, if you're in Poplar Grove, I don't think you are under any kind of tornado danger as of right now. Continue to monitor that, but as we kind of look at our different circulation tools, this shows us where that strong rotation, that potential tornadic activity is, and I'm kind of picking up on those two spots again, basically moving into Walworth County right now. So if you've got the sirens going off in Boone, you got the sirens going off into Rock County, you're probably in the clear as of right now. And Aaron's wondering, is it coming to Belvedere? Belvedere, no, but this is sometimes one of the hangups with those county-wide tornado sirens. Belvedere wasn't ever in the warning, but when you got to issue that tornado siren for the whole county, you might end up hearing something, the sirens going off, and it's not for your backyard. So that's why we want you to have, an app like ours, the 13 Weather Authority app. We want you to watch us here, because then we can kind of differentiate who's under the warning, who's not under the warning as of right now. So again, pointing out right near Darien and then kind of right along the county line is where we're getting at least some weak circulation on radar, where there could be some possible brief tornadoes about to happen or ongoing, especially this one showing up a little brighter on radar right along the county line approaching Highway 14. Should be north of Harvard, so I think you may be in the clear there. We'll keep an eye on this little smudge here. I'll call it a smudge at best for Poplar Grove because unfortunately, this severe storm has had a history of producing kind of these weak rotations, so that could just be like a little burst of wind, or that could be something that's trying to spin up very quickly. I'm going to check in with some bulletins from the National Weather Service. And by the way, again, we're live on all our different streaming platforms. Got an emergency manager reporting possible wall cloud north of Harvard moving north. So again, wall cloud is kind of the precursor, that step before a tornado. So that is why that tornado warning is out, and it's kind of lining up with what I'm seeing on radar right now. We'll continue to keep an eye on that little smudge near Capron as of this point. Hopefully that doesn't amount to anything. It could be just some blustery winds, but just make sure that you are staying weather aware with all of this. McChesney Park sirens are going off. That is interesting to me. So thanks for that little report, Shirley. I'm going to toggle the radar off and just show you where these warnings are. You can see that there aren't any active warnings ongoing anywhere except for these little corners of Boone and McHenry counties, as well as Rock County, and then most of Walworth County. So the orange is a severe thunderstorm, still getting some strong storm activity, especially into Harvard near Capron. And then that little corner there, still catching Boone and McHenry counties. The tornado is possibly right here, so you can kind of see how Boone County's almost out of that. Same for Rock County. I think, if anything, this may be more of a Walworth County threat. So if you're in Walworth County, if you're north of Harvard, where we have these rotations on radar, we want you still to stay in that basement currently. I think if you're in Boone County, you're in Rock County, even into McHenry County, and you're still kind of under that tornado warning, I think you may be in the clears at this point, is how we see it on radar. I'll get you back over to where the warnings are a little better highlighted here. And you can see that far northeast corner of Boone, that far southeast corner of Rock, which is kind of buried by the banner right now. Those are the spots that, again, I think you might be kind of in the clear with all of this. But if you're in McHenry County, especially if you're in Walworth County, stay in that basement for now. Stay in that storm shelter, especially because of that possible rotation that's showing up nice and bright right north of Harvard. Shirley mentioning here, I'm in McChesney, don't hear anything or a siren, so that is kind of interesting. I wonder how that may have happened. Maybe you're kind of hearing the one down the road from you or something. So back to radar. We'll give you kind of a big scale picture of all of this once I get these different radar sweeping appearances off. So, severe thunderstorm right over McHenry County, including Harvard, probably getting a lot of rain, maybe some small hail, gusty winds, larger hail near Darien right now, and it's kind of right roughly in here, right along the county line, the state line, if anything, where we see that strong rotation. National Weather Service just trimmed Rock County out of the warning, so officially no longer looking at any kind of tornado warning for Rock County. That kind of confirms what I'm seeing on radar, so I think you are in the clear. If you're anywhere else, so we've been mentioning, near Capron, near Harvard, into Walworth County. If I haven't mentioned you, Rockford, Monroe Center, all of these spots, you don't have to worry about this at all. It's just kind of these limited areas that a little hard to see right now. I'll toggle the radar off. Those are the only active warnings that we see currently, so you can kind of rest assured with all of that. You can see the National Weather Service trimmed off Rock County. Poplar Grove, again, you probably are hearing the tornado sirens because of that little spot just to the northeast of you where that tornado warning originated. So that's probably why some areas of Boone County are still hearing sirens, because you don't... Hopefully the sirens shut off now, because they just took out the tornado warning for Boone County. So no longer looking at a tornado warning for Boone County. It's far northern McHenry and all of Walworth County under that tornado warning up until 2:30. Still looking at a severe thunderstorm into Boone County. That should be out soon. I know some people, Meredith's wondering about Rochelle. Rochelle's probably in the clear when it comes to any kind of, you're definitely not seeing any kind of severe activity. As we look at some of our other spots, lots of rain stretching from Rockford to just north of Rochelle. Rochelle, you're in the clear. It's kind of that I-39 corridor as of this point that are getting the downpours, and severe weather is all the way up into southern Wisconsin as of this point. So that's why some of these warnings have been slowly trimmed off as of right now. Let's get you back over to that threat area where we do see, again, a possible tornado. That has progressed down the road a little bit from the last time we checked in on it. Once I get the camera adjusted a little bit here, it is right over Highway 67 north of Harvard. So this is getting a little closer to Williams Bay. Again, tornado possible in this spot right where we have those bright greens and reds coming together. So this is kind of that intersection of Highway 14 and Highway 67. That's where we see that potential tornado on radar. Also right outside of Darien, you can see that we've got some greens and reds mixing, so there could be some broad rotation. I know there was some hail in this spot, so I am wondering if that also is just kind of a strong area of that thunderstorm right near Darien. And again, the possible tornado near Highway 14 and Highway 67, right at about where that intersection is where we are getting that tornado threat as of right now. Going to pull up some of our other tracking tools just to measure where we are getting maybe some strong winds as well as anything else. So if anything, large hail right outside of Darien, kind of right by Highway 14, and keep an eye on some turbulent winds near Highway 67. So kind of catching up with some of the questions and comments here. Jeffrey, thanks for kind of helping clean this up. So Sherry's wondering where is here? Here is southern Wisconsin. So Belvidere, Boone County, you are in the clear, not seeing any tornado warnings for you. Same for Rock County. This is only for Walworth County. As of this point, I would not be surprised if the National Weather Service got rid of that warning for McHenry County quite soon here. So again, this is for southern Wisconsin. That possible tornado has tracked into southern Wisconsin. Thankfully, not seeing any kind of debris on radar, so that's fantastic, but still some strong circulation right outside of Highway 67. May not be quite as strong as it was previously. So as people are... Amy's wondering any more for the Rockford area, so we'll give you a recap on radar, just kind of across the board. This all started as a tornado warning for Boone County. Boone County, you are in the clear. I would say that Rock County and McHenry counties, you are in the clear. If you are in Rockford and just to the north of Belvidere, basically kind of New Milford, Cherry Valley, southeast side of Rockford through about Poplar Grove and Capron. Heavy rainfall, some lightning. That's probably all you should expect over the next hour or so as these storms continue to clear. Severe weather ongoing basically from about Harvard north. So Harvard into southern Wisconsin, that's where we see all of the severe weather as of right now. You can see that thunderstorm looking a lot more intense. Some hail outside of Darien, possible tornadic signatures showing up down the highway from there as we look into southern Wisconsin. No active warnings everywhere else. I know that a couple people have asked about Rochelle. Rochelle, you are just south of all of that, so you're probably missing a lot of these storms. Looking at Byron and Davis Junction, also getting some quick rounds of heavy rainfall. Everywhere else looks to be pretty quiet compared to how it was even just about an hour ago. Daniel, thank you for kind of chiming in here. No rain in Belvidere just yet. Meredith is wondering about the watch for the Rochelle area. So there is a tornado watch out. So that watch means, hey, heads up. We possibly could see some tornadoes out of these severe thunderstorms. And a great example of that is this severe thunderstorm was going along just fine, and then it got into northeast Boone County, and rotation started popping up. So that's why the watch was issued, just to kind of give you that little heads up that any one of these storms could quickly spin up on a dime. So Sherry's wondering here, McHenry says still a tornado warning on TV. So yes. far northern McHenry County. This is just north of Harvard. There's a little sliver of McHenry County still under the warning. I'm not seeing any kind of rotation there, but as you can see, the National Weather Service still wants to keep that tornado warning going for just a little bit longer. Might expire in about a minute here. So not expecting to see that tornado kind of come back down the highway at all. If anything, I see some strong rotation just outside of Walworth, Wisconsin right now. So that is kind of where we see things currently, getting some new warnings out downstream for all of northern McHenry County. So basically extending this severe thunderstorm out to the end of McHenry County, waiting for that tornado warning to drop off. You can see that again, we have that brand new severe thunderstorm warning for McHenry County. So we'll update you on that. So the National Weather Service did extend the severe thunderstorm warning all the way out to the end of McHenry County until 3:15. Hail just under severe limits, but still could see wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. That is enough to damage trees, possibly some power lines. So get ready for damage to roofs, siding, trees, windows. Want you away from that roof level down to some lower floors and stay away from those windows. So thankfully, we're not seeing any other warnings. If you're in northern McHenry County, again, take heed on this. You can see that this is basically going to track all the way through northern McHenry County. It avoids Woodstock. It avoids McHenry. This will be not over Harvard for very long. Might be getting some small to large hail in your backyard currently as a result of all this. So yeah, right over Harvard, we've got some large hail developing. Some strong wind gusts would then be working their way north of Woodstock and north of McHenry. And then for the tornado warning, this was right outside of Walworth. So I'll pull up the National Weather Service from Milwaukee in just a second, but getting some strong rotation there. And then, if you're hopping on, kind of wondering, well, what about the rest of us? You are in the clear with all of that. So no severe warnings anywhere else, which is some good news. We are looking at just some heavy rain, basically stretching from north of Rochelle all the way up I-39 to right about Cherry Valley. Belvedere is kind of just seeing a lot of this skirt around you, though I do think the activity from Cherry Valley moves into Belvedere. If you're in Byron, Pecatonica, Oregon, Dixon, you're all in the clear for right now. May get more additional storms move in later this afternoon, but for now, you should be fine. Expecting to see maybe a few more storms bubble up as the afternoon goes along. That's what kind of Brittany's wondering here. Any more storms anticipated to develop once these all move out of the area? And we do have a decent chance of that as we look towards later this afternoon. So here is future track. It's maybe just a little bit behind what we're seeing on radar, but the general trend here is that over the next hour may get some additional activity to bubble up near I-39. We get to about 4:30, we should be done with all of that. So there may be one more round of storms between now and 4:30, so over the next 2 hours, but then expecting to be done with all of this activity. Rest of that will then stay closer to Lake Michigan and occasionally bubble up into southern Wisconsin. Hunters wondering about Janesville. No warnings out for your area. Those storms are trending away from you right now. But as you saw on Future Track, be ready for some additional activity just in case. So that's kind of the general scene as we have it currently. You can see that most of the warnings are slowly moving their way more east to northeast. Again, possible tornado near Walworth, and then McHenry County getting some strong thunderstorm activity north of Woodstock and McHenry. Elsewhere, just some regular thunderstorms beginning to clear the area. So we'll keep a close eye on this throughout the rest of this afternoon. About 90 minutes from now, 13 News at 4. We'll have updates on anything that is developing across our backyard. So stay with us for additional coverage throughout the remainder of the afternoon.